Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want,
that ruthless mindset hasn't gone anywhere. Even behind bars, Diddy is still trying to pull strings. Now reports suggest he may have crossed a dangerous line. Sources claim that Diddy allegedly sent death threats to the federal judge overseeing his case, apparently outraged that the judge brought in Johnny Depp's high-profile legal team to lead the prosecution. Considering earlier whispers about him threatening witnesses, this latest twist isn't entirely surprising. As the high-stakes EI trial of Sean Diddy Combs continues to captivate public attention, a darker narrative has emerged. Allegations are now surfacing that Diddy has made threats both inside and outside the courtroom, raising concerns about witness intimidation, obstruction of justice, and just how far the music mogul might go to protect himself. Prosecutors argue, this isn't isolated behavior, it's a recurring pattern. The federal indictment accuses Combs of using violence, intimidation, and threats, often with the presence of firearms, to force women into so-called freak-offs and then silence them afterward. Accusations include choking, hitting, and even dangling victims over balconies to assert control. What's especially troubling, prosecutors say, is that Combs has continued to manipulate the situation from inside the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn. He allegedly used other inmates' phone privileges for three-way calls, contacted witnesses, planted media stories, and paid off inmates by funding their commissary accounts. Notes reportedly seized from his cell, a 19-page document, and a handwritten to-do list allegedly outlined plans to bribe witnesses, dig up dirt on accusers, and shape the social media narrative in his favor. Though Combs' legal team has dismissed these claims as baseless, the accusations of witness tampering are a major reason why judges have repeatedly denied him bail. In November 2024, Judge Aaron Subramanian cited those concerns directly when rejecting Combs' latest bail request, continuing the decision first made by Judge Andrew L. Carter Jr., who initially presided over the case before it was reassigned in October 2024. Beyond prison walls, a longer trail of alleged threats has emerged through lawsuits and public statements. One of the most detailed accounts comes from Daniel Smith, a former editor-in-chief whose experience adds to the growing portrait of a man who, according to many, has long used fear to maintain power. One of the earliest and most chilling allegations against Diddy comes from Daniel Smith, former editor-in-chief of Vibe magazine. Smith claimed that in 1997, Diddy threatened her life over a disagreement about cover photos featuring him. According to her, after she refused his demand to preview the photos before publication, against Vibe's editorial policy, Diddy called and allegedly told her she would end up dead in the trunk of a car if she didn't comply. Smith says he then sent two associates to Vibe's offices, where they stormed through cubicles and searched for the photos. The situation was so serious that Smith had to be relocated between offices for her safety before eventually leaving the building altogether. Her attorney intervened, threatening legal action unless Diddy issued an apology. Smith says she received a faxed apology within 2 hours. She publicly shared this story in a 2024 essay for The New York Times and later detailed it in the investigation Discovery docuseries The Fall of Diddy, which aired in January 2025. Diddy's legal team denied the claims, calling them pure fiction, and criticizing the documentary for being one-sided and not giving Diddy a fair opportunity to respond. They labeled the entire situation part of a media spectacle lacking proper context. Another serious allegation came from Ashley Parr, who filed a lawsuit in October 2024, accusing Diddy and his associates of gang raping her in 2018. She claimed that Posse attack was retaliation for suggesting during a FaceTime call that Diddy had something to do with Tupac Shakur's 1996 murder. Parr alleged Diddy held a knife to her face, threatened to give her a Glasgow smile, a brutal facial disfigurement, and used his team, including a bodyguard and chief of staff, to intimidate her into silence. Similarly, Dawn Richard, a former member of Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money, filed a 55-page lawsuit in September 2024, alleging Diddy threatened her life when she tried to intervene during his abuse of Cassie Ventura. Richard stated that she witnessed Diddy choking and assaulting Cassie, and when she stepped in, he warned her that he could make people disappear and end people using his influence to instill fear. These allegations don't stop at personal relationships. Kirk Burrows, co-founder of Bad Boy Entertainment, accused Diddy of threatening him in 1996, allegedly confronting him in his office and demanding he sign over his 25% stake in the company under threat of violence. After refusing, Burrows says, He was blackballed from the music industry. Perhaps most disturbing are the allegations involving minors. A John Doe plaintiff filed a lawsuit in 2024 claiming that in 2005, at just 10 years old, he was sexually assaulted by Diddy during an audition. The suit alleges Diddy asked the boy how badly he wanted to be a star before abusing him and threatening him into silence. The boy's parents were allegedly too afraid to come forward at the time, fearing Diddy's powerful influence. Amid this deeply troubling backdrop, a surprising link has emerged to another high-profile legal drama: Johnny Depp's legal team. Ben Chew, who famously represented Depp in his defamation case against Amber Heard, has become a key legal commentator on the Diddy case, offering expert insights based on his experience navigating celebrity trials under intense public scrutiny.
Well, it's taking longer than I would have expected. In the case of Depp v. Heard, everybody wanted to serve on the jury. So in many cases, as you know, jurors are trying to make excuses as to why they can't sit through a long trial. And 8 weeks, as you say, is a very long trial. But in these celebrity trials, I think people are more inclined to want to serve as a juror. So I'm a little surprised it's taken as long as it has.
In October 2024, Ben Chew appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored to analyze Diddy's legal strategy and weigh in on the serious obstacles facing the defense. Chew was blunt about the impact of the 2016 hotel surveillance video, which appears to show Diddy physically assaulting Cassie Ventura. He called the footage devastating for Diddy's case and noted that the severity of the evidence might force Diddy to take the stand in his own defense to try and directly explain or refute it.
I think the problem is going to come in, with the Cassandra Ventura's tape. I mean, whether you've seen that before, you're certainly going to see that during the trial. And I think that's highly problematic, obviously, for Diddy, whether they've seen it before or not.
Yeah, because the prosecution is saying she was not only running away from home, she was running away from a freak-off, that there was a sex worker in that hotel room. That goes to the charge of sex trafficking, and also racketeering. Sex trafficking is a part of that as well.
In his analysis, Ben Chew emphasized that Diddy would need to express genuine remorse for what was captured in the 2016 hotel video, framing the incident as an isolated lapse, rather than part of a broader pattern of abuse or criminal behavior such as sex trafficking. Chew criticized Diddy's earlier apology video, saying it lacked authenticity and failed to resonate. He argued that to have any hope of swaying the jury, Diddy would need to look them in the eye, show real emotion, and convincingly take responsibility.
Knowing that that's coming in, I think he has to take the stand and explain that. I mean, going back to the issue of celebrity client, you have a tension between image and what's best for the public image in the court of public opinion and what's better for the client. His apology was probably done to help his image, but I think it will hurt him in the criminal trial. And I think that's another factor which requires him to testify, because you have not only the video, but you have the prior apology coming into evidence, and that wasn't a very good apology.
Although Ben Chew is not representing Diddy, his involvement as a legal commentator has added a significant new dimension to how the public views the case. With a reputation built on his successful defense of Johnny Depp in a highly publicized defamation trial, Chew's insights have helped shape the narrative around Diddy's legal strategy and the immense challenge his defense team faces in countering the federal prosecution. Another member of Depp's legal team, Wayne Dennison, has also weighed in advising celebrities associated with Diddy to stay silent to avoid being pulled into the chaos or becoming targets of future lawsuits. His warning reflects a strategic, image-focused approach, a playbook that worked well for Depp and is now being cautiously mirrored by Diddy's camp. But the similarities between the Depp and Diddy cases only go so far. As Chew has pointed out, the stakes are drastically different. Depp's battle was a civil defamation case with money and reputation on the line. Diddy, on the other hand, is facing federal criminal charges that could result in life imprisonment. The burden of proof is also higher in criminal court, beyond a reasonable doubt, as opposed to the preponderance of evidence required in civil cases. Furthermore, while Depp benefited from strong public support and no direct video evidence of abuse, Diddy is contending with damning 2016 surveillance footage that Chew himself described as incredibly difficult for the defense to overcome. This critical difference highlights the steep uphill battle Diddy faces, not just in court, but in the court of public opinion. As the trial continues, the shadow of alleged threats and intimidation looms large. Prosecutors portray Diddy as a man accustomed to using fear and control to silence his accusers while the defense insists the claims are exaggerated, financially motivated, or outright fabricated. Like many complex cases, the truth likely lies somewhere in the middle, and it will be up to Judge Subramanian and the jury to separate fact from fiction. Now, with all eyes locked on the courtroom, the trial has taken yet another dramatic turn. To a bold move, the judge recently shifted the direction of the proceedings, catching everyone off guard and altering the entire tone in the courtroom. This isn't just another celebrity scandal, it's a full-blown legal and cultural reckoning with shocking allegations of abuse, power plays, and criminal enterprise rocking the entertainment industry to its core. These aren't just rumors. They're explosive revelations that could reshape everything.